Okay, hi everyone, and welcome. It is Wednesday. That means it is time for another Mini Mayhem with me. I am your host, Vee Mus'e. I am one of the WizKids employees, and I am ridiculously excited for today's topic. As you can see, no, it's right there, that one. As you can see, today we're going to be talking about some WarLock tiles, and the chat has been buzzing already. So fantastic to see you all there. Pardon my, I'm looking at the wrong camera. Hi, camera check. So excited to show you the WarLock Tiles 2 sets that I have sitting right here next to me, because this is one of those things where, as I've said before, when we've talked about our tiles in previous streams, we have some very cool, very exciting variations and designs coming down the pipeline. I can't talk about everything we have planned, just, because it's part of the process, but what I can chat about with you, I'm definitely going to be sharing with you today. So super excited to take a look at these sets with you today. We will also be taking a look at the original WarLock Tiles 1, so you can see the difference between what are the half walls and what are the full walls, just to give you an idea of how everything works. And I will also go over a couple other pointers, and I'm hoping we can squeeze in a room build. And I want to show you how both of these sets can work with each other, at least how I would like to approach it as a DM who uses terrain, GM who uses terrain as well. That all being said, hi, hello again. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button. And then while you're there, you can ring the bell so that when lovely streams like this one goes live, you'll get notifications, as well as when we upload videos about our content. So I think that takes care of the general gist of things. If you have questions during the stream, I always ask that you type in caps question right there in the chat. It makes it so much easier for me to see your question, and I can hopefully address it for you then and there. But I am open for questions. I will do my best to answer them for you, especially when it comes to the WarLock tiles you're going to be seeing today. One thing I do want to make a quick announcement about, and we're very excited about this, we are starting to open up international shipping. So right now on the WizKids store online, we have Great Britain, France, Canada, and Germany. You are now open for international shipping, and we also have a really cool promo going on. When you go to our shop.wizkids.com, residents can plug in Global 10, and that'll give you 10% off your first purchase. So fun little thing there. I'll reiterate that towards the end in case we have any newcomers joining us. But yes, we are starting to open up international shipping for other countries and regions. Please be patient. It's something that we are rolling out little by little as we can get it going. But yes, that is going. However, we always encourage you, check with your FLGS first and see if they have these products on order, or if they have them available. You can do your pre-orders with your FLGS and all of that wonderfulness. What I am showing you today is up for pre-order. So if you see these full walls and you want to make sure you secure your sets for yourself, definitely be sure to contact your FLGS. Let them know you want to get the WarLock Tiles 2 sets. Or if that's not an option because there's not one near you, then we encourage you, definitely go online. Like I said, you can check out shop.wizkids.com. You can also look on Amazon. And I think that pretty much covers the where and the how and all of that wonderfulness. So I am seeing a question in here. What about magnets? That started out right up and bat from JV5012. Magnets can get to be very expensive, and they can also get to be very weighty. So that's just something to keep in mind in terms of, yes, I understand the concept of working with magnets, having them click together. And that aspect, because I have, built my own terrain in the past where I've tried using magnets, it adds up quickly. Just in those two respects. We want to make sure this is something that is streamlined, that is accessible, that is quick and easy to put together, and everything like that. So speaking of that, the easy clips that was asked about in the chat previously before I started the stream, the easy clips are going to be available for order in October as well. Here's the even better news. Future WarLock tile sets will all have easy clips in them. Okay, so just keep that in mind. When you buy the WarLock Tiles 2, there will be easy clips in them. We will still also make sure that we have the clips that help convert to open lock and dragon lock as well. But I just wanted to make sure that it is mentioned that easy clips are going to become something that is standard in the box. Okay, now, let me see here. I'm just quickly looking at the chat. If the music is too loud, please do let me know so I can adjust the music if need be. So first thing I'm going to show you is the expansions. Now this is the same thing as we've had before with WarLock Tiles 1. There are these expansions, and that is something where you get a few extra pieces involved. So here is the box for the town and village. And I want you to see these. Now, we have done something with the packaging for WarLock Tiles, and this is another thing I want to chat about with you all, because I think for consumers, it's gonna make this a lot easier and really help out with finding what it is you need. So as you can see, I'm trying to get, there we go. So as you can see, this expansion box, it's still that lovely carrying case, okay? It's still a carrying case. It still has the beautiful sleeve with the information on the back, as well as some photos. But you can see that it is this color green, and what we have done with the packaging is expansions are going to be green, and we have this lovely symbol here, and we've also put it onto the sides of the boxes as well, so that it's easy to see what it is that is in the container itself. So I wanted you to take a look at that. In fact, let me show you everything else in terms of this whole packaging thing. So we're gonna quickly flip to this. Now, please keep in mind that these are renders. This is not to scale, all right? Want to make that clear. This is not how all the boxes are going to size up with each other. There might be variations based upon the sets themselves. But hello from Spain. Well, thank you very much. So when it comes time to looking into our WarLock Tile sets, when you see a box that is purple, that is one of our core sets. That's Dungeon Tiles, that is Town and Village, okay? When you see the green, that means it's an expansion. So that means it is additional pieces that you can also find in the core sets, but it is not the full line. It won't have the tiles in it, basically. When you see the blue box, the blue boxes are the accessory sets. So things like we had the stairs and ladders, doors and archways, dungeon dressings, all of those will now be in this blue colored detailed box. And like I said, the side, like this one right here, the side is going to have these symbols on it, so you can also see which variety you're looking at. So the arrows pointing up, you have your expansion packs. The wrench with the gear, that is the accessory stuff. So we're just trying to make this something where when you go in and you walk into that store and you see the whole big setup for WarLock Tiles, you'll know exactly what you're grabbing just based upon the color itself. And again, you can make sure you can see what it is on all sides. So I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to be such a great look, and keep an eye out for it as these get released out in stores. And I think that takes care of the packaging. So now, so I just showed you the Town and Village, which I'm going to tuck over here. And you'll also have the expansion option for Dungeon Tiles too. All right. And we are going to be taking a look at these specifically. But again, that is everything you have going on in there. Same thing. You have the information. Focus, darling camera. That's the problem with this distance camera every so often. Sometimes that works. There we go. All the lists and everything are included, the key features and everything like that. In fact, let's start opening up the expansions. I want you to at least see in the box. I'm not going to take everything out because we are going to build a room, and I do want to show you the pieces and everything. But I do want you to see how each of these look. So I'm going to flip to overhead here. And this is what you're going to see when you remove the sleeve. Okay, so again, it's this wonderful carrying case, which I find hugely valuable. It makes it so much easier to move these around and store them. And it's the same thing. You open up the flap at the handle. Please make sure you do that, and make sure you're seeing that WarLock facing up at you. If you do it the other way around, it's gonna be a mess. And these are all of the pieces you get in the expansion for Dungeon Tiles 2. All right, so you'll get your walls, your exterior walls, your interior walls, your exterior doors, your pillars, your corner pieces, as well as these accessory pieces, which I'm going to show you a little bit more closely, and your clips. Keep in mind, the easy clips are going to be a different color than the ones that I'm going to be using today, just because I got the earlier versions of the clips. Same function, same ease. So that's what the Dungeon Tiles 2 expansion has in it. And let me show you what you can expect when you open up Town and Village. And we're going to take a closer look at all these pieces when I jump over to the sets themselves. So same thing, lift at the top, flip it around so you can see everything that's in here. All right, so again, we have our exterior doors, you have your walls, you have the interior walls, the pillars, more walls here, and your corners going on for these expansion bits, as well as more clips. Okay, so those are expansions, and I really do recommend getting the expansions. I find often, especially if I'm getting into doing a lot of sort of bump outs or rooms that have more than just 4 corners going, it helps to have the expansions because then you can get really more intricate with your room layouts. So that's just my own personal experience using these. And again, if you are watching and you have any questions and you're in the chat, please be sure to type in question, caps, and then your question. Kenneth, you're very happy for these. I am too. I'm actually very excited because I know there's that whole debate between the whole half wall, full walls. Everyone has their preference. I think by offering both, we're branching out and able to reach more people so that those who do prefer their higher walls have the higher wall option. Those who prefer their half walls, so you can see over and everything like that, you have that option too. Personally, I'll show you why I'm excited for both once we build a room, and I'm gonna do something at the end, which I think is going to be something that others will put to use and enjoy as well when it comes time to using terrain in game. So flipping to overhead, here is Town and Village. Okay, this is the core set for 2. And again, it has the sleeve on it. I'm gonna flip it over so you can see the back. Ooh, there we go. So this is the back of it. You have your list of parts. You have your key features. And we have some rooms set up so you can see how this looks. Now let's take a look at them up close and personal. I'm gonna take the sleeve off. And again, if you want your core sets, it's that purple. Now, remember how I said make sure you see the WarLock? If I were to open this up like this, you're gonna have pieces going everywhere. So I'm gonna flip it over. Good morning, Leonardo. Thank you for joining today. And now, here we go. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Here is the Town and Village 2. So it's the same style as Town and Village 1, but these are the full walls. So you're still getting that plaster, daub and wattle style walls for the exterior and the interior. And you will be getting your tiles as well. And it's the same tiles as before. You have your stone and you have your wood, and you still have this lovely grid incorporation that works into the design, but it doesn't overtake, which as one who works non-grid, I appreciate that. But for those who do wargaming and things like that, where you want your grids, there your grids. Your grids are there. So the tiles are the same. You also get your 4x4. Get 2 of those, which is also the same with the ones. And then under here is where you have your clips, as well as the additional compatible clips for open lock and dragon lock. And you have the caps that you can put over the tiles to give them more of a finished look. So same thing as well as Dungeon Tiles 1, or sorry, Town and Village 1. It's the same thing for Dungeon Tiles 2, for the 1 sets we'll call them. But now, oh, and also you get your 2x8s, okay? Here we go, that's what I wanna do. So the tiles are the same as you would have in the first variety. But here is where we start getting into some fun. Let me start first with the walls. She says as she's, there it is, right in front of me. If it were a snake. So this is one of the walls with windows and one of the walls just straight up done. Now I've done a previous build already, so all of my walls with the windows are currently used, but I'll show you. These windows still have that fun feature of they can pop out, all right? Reason for this is you can kind of change up the look of your wall. So this is the exterior part that's gonna stick out because you don't see the openings to clip on. So you can actually have your window go in like this, or you can have your window, and this is actually how I prefer to do it personally. You can have your window so it's the flushed frame, but when you go inside, it's more ornate. And you also get the window ledge inside. See that? So just keep that in mind with the windows. It's the same features as we had in set 1 as well. But here we have our walls, and now for comparison, I'm going to grab one of the half walls, and you can see here's from Town and Village 1, here's from Town and Village 2. So literally half the height. But same features in terms of how they're gonna work with the clips and everything like that, except you'll notice on here, there are these little openings, these ports, okay? And those are there for a reason. And this is something I'm very excited about. So, hold on just a second here. Kenneth, I see your question, and there is a means, if you go onto our website, where you can contact directly and be able to reach us that way. Oh, I put them over here. I'm looking for the accessories. So for those little ports, so if you go, Kenneth, to whizkids.com, there is an area where you can report that. I am blanking mentally on the exact email itself. If you also want to, you can @ me on Twitter, and I will relay that email address to you as well to make sure you get that help. So you have these accessories that go into the walls. Okay, you can personalize the walls, you can customize the walls. You will be getting 4 lanterns and 4 shields with swords crossed over them, like so. And this is where you can really start having some fun. Let me put those back in. All you need to do, and we've seen this before with some of the other 4D sets, pools and pillars. We had something with the pillars where you could do something similar like this. So you just put it into that. And now, how fun is that? You have a lantern just sitting right there on the wall, ready to go. Let me show you the same thing with the sword and shield. Well, yeah, there we go. I'm like, let me get it so it's actually centered. There you go. So just something fun and different to help add to the ambience, especially now that we have the full walls to work with. So you have that going right there for you. All right, so that's something I want you to keep an eye out for. Hello, Michael. Thank you for joining us. Good to see your name in chat. Actually, let me quickly look over at the chat and just do a quick read through. Okay, so let me put these back, and we're going to keep looking at the other pieces and compare them. So you just got to see the walls. I'll put those back into place. Now let's take a look at the corners. All right, so the corners are the same thing. This is the full height. And I'll bring out half. So pretty much it's the exact same design, you just have the height to it. Functions the exact same way, as you can see. So if you're already familiar with our set that is from the first round, you'll be able to use these no problem. All right, so that's the corners. And then we have doors. Now the doors for the doubles, for the doors, it's pretty much the same door for the double doors from 1 and 2. All right, this one was from 1, this one is from 2. Then what you're going to do, this is from 1, this is from 2. So you can see the door is now fully encased. But same function, same finish, all that goodness. And they are also functioning doors. Open and close. All right. And then, let's see, so we have the doors, we did the corners, the interiors. So here we have an interior wall from 2, an interior wall from 1. I love all these, like the cracks in the plaster. I just love those little extra touches right there. Hello, Raphael, and hello, Cal. I'm trying to keep up with the chat as I explain. So these are your interior walls. And then you also have interior doors, which, give me a moment. There we go. One just fell out while I was pulling. So here are your interior doors for town and village. Again, they don't function. They aren't the ones that open and close. It's the exterior ones that do. But you can see the difference between the half wall and the full wall on these doors. So we have that. And I believe, and the pillars. And then last, definitely not least, because remember these pillars are great for finishing off and closing gaps if you need to between walls. Here is the pillar for Town and Village 2. Here it is from 1. So it's literally just a change in height. But they have the same feature where it's basically you go in and you can, I'm going to use a door right now, you can just plug the pillar into the side to create a more finished look, like so. Like say I was going to make a corner piece using a window and a door. So here's a window, here's a door. Ta-da, now you have a nice closed off corner. So the pillars have the same function, they're just taller. All right, so that is Town and Village 2. It is available for pre-order. Get your pre-orders in. These come out in November. So do keep that in mind. These sets are going for $129.99. So just be aware of that price. The expansions are $79.99. And that is everything that you can expect. And you do have your interior corners too. I want to make sure I mention those too. So you have your interior corners as well. Again, just like the first set, you will have all of those as well. Same function, it's just the full wall height now. All right, so that is Town and Village, which I'm gonna put to the side. And then I'm gonna open up Dungeon Tiles 2, so you can see what those look like. And we'll also do a side-by-side comparison of the different parts. Hold on. Let's see here. Do we have a date for release date? Joseph, like I said, November. That is our release month right now. As we get closer, I will be able to give you dates. So here we have Dungeon Tiles 2. And let me open this up. So like the first set, and like what I just showed you before, you have all of your tiles, same as before. So you have your 2x2s, 4x4s, 2x8s. Okay, so those come in the core sets. You get your tiles in your core sets, the purple boxes. And you also have your corners, exterior, interior, your interior walls and doors, exterior doors that also function. So let's take a look at these side by side now. And you can see all these fun features. All right. And Michael, I have to agree, and this is coming as a mini painter myself. Michael says, has to say we're pre-painted. The minis are very nice. These pieces have all been created with attention to detail. So you have texture to your stone. You have highlighting of the higher nooks and crannies in the plaster. There is a lot of attention paid to the detail in the design and creation of these pieces, and it is something where myself, as one who uses terrain and paints miniatures and everything like that, I have no problem pulling these right out and starting to put them on the table because they have such a presence to them. They've really done a wonderful job incorporating all these little nuances into the design work. So big thumbs up, just totally thrilled with what's gone into the creation of these. So here is your Dungeon Tiles 2. Let's start doing the same thing as before, our side-by-side comparisons. So here we have half wall from set 1. Here's full wall from set 2. And as you can see, we have, we'll do the ASMR. The texture, the deep details are there. Same as before, and you can see there's variation going on with the stonework. You don't run into the subway tile system that can sometimes happen when doing tiles on terrain where you start noticing the pattern of the design. This has a nice randomized look to it so that as you start putting them together, as you start putting them together, your eyes don't automatically go to the that can sometimes happen. So just another thing that I really like very much. And again, we have a fun feature for dungeons with the pieces. And these are different than the ones that come in Town and Village. But yes, in case the question comes up, yes, you can actually switch around. I did it myself behind screen. Actually, let me get it out so I can show you. You can take your different wall accents and add them into the other set if you so choose. Let me pull those back out. So when you get your Dungeon Tiles 2, these are the fun wall accessories you can expect. You get a torch and you get the pennant, okay? So the nice red pennant with the fabric folds and the torch, which has a silver finish, and it's that translucent plastic. So you can see my nails playing through behind it, but I like this especially with flame details because it'll pick up any ambient light you have and give it sort of a glowing effect all on its own just because of the type of plastic that is used. Let's see here. Yes, November is going to be a great month. Hello, Jordan. How are you? Nice to see you join us. Thank you so much for stopping by. That's right. We were talking about the ports. So I'm going to put the torch in first. And you can see You just push it in, and it is nice and secure. Here's the other fun thing, and this is my coming as Game Master, Dungeon Master type of thing. You could totally work this as something where the players, like if they're looking for a secret door, which by the way, there are secret doors in the Doors and Archways set, you could turn the torch type of thing and like something slides open. This is where my mind goes when I get to play with things, okay, people? But it's fun little details like that, that for me, it helps enhance the game and your story as well. So that's with the torch. And let me show you with the pennant. Think. There we go. That's just with the pennant in there. You can see it sits more flush against the wall itself, but it brings a pop of color up for sure. And then I'll show you how you can also work in those other pieces from Town and Village if you want to do a fun little mixy-matchy type of thing going on here. So I will do first the sword and shield. That goes in. Ta-dam! Well, there we go. See? Just pops right in. Nice and secure. And then we'll do the lantern. You know, Daniel, Pools and Pillars does have the stag head in it, and this is, I wonder if that would fit. Of course it is out of reach. I'm going to test that theory. I'm going to test that theory and see if those also fit in there, and I will follow up that. But here it is with the lantern also inserted in the opening. So you can have a little fun and sort of move things around. Actually, the pendants would look really cool in Town and Village, and that way it's sort of a like a grand hall. You know, take the throne from Dungeon Dressings, put it in there, and get your pendants going. Mine's off and running. I'm already building terrain in my head. It's just how I work. Okay, let me see here. I'm just quickly looking. Yeah, the torches are great. The expansions, do they come with the small wall bits to hang? No, they come in the corsets. That is a very good question, though. At least I believe they come. Let me just double check. Let me just do a quick double check. No, they do come. They do. I take it back. Just, you know, dial back, erase what I said. No, those do also come. Yes, they do. Those come with it. So you get them in both expansion and in core. So let me redact the previous statement, and now we are corrected, and that's good. And let's put this back in here. Okay, so we had, that was the full and the half walls compared with each other. Let's take a look at the doors. So here are the double exterior, again, opening and closing. And just the detail in these. I have painted many of these style doors, but here is what the one set looks like. Here is what the two. All right, so you get more of the rectangular finish so that it'll be flush and smooth with the other walls that it's working with, whereas for our half walls, this kind of gives it a nice rounded off top. So that's the difference between your two double doors, the exterior. And then let's look at the single. Right there. Same thing. This one's encased fully in the wall, so it's a rectangular line. This one you have sort of the nips in, and then you have the arch shape, but functions as well. Opens and closes, and all that goodness, just like these do. See? So those are the exterior doors. Now we have our interior doors, which don't want to come out and play right now. Here we go. And you'll see it's the same thing with the interior doors. And again, the interior doors are not functioning. They don't open and close. Just a heads up on that one. But again, the great detail, the metallic gleam, which I think is fantastic. I love it. And all of that. Let's put that one back. Hold on. Oh, the interior walls. Again, full and half. So this is from 2, this is from 1. Same use, same function. You use these to insert between the tiles themselves. This space is so that you can anchor it around a clip that is holding the tiles together. There you go. And then let's take a look at the corners. So here you have full height corner, half, 2, 1. But again, same function. You have your openings where the clips will go in. It's the same thing for the exterior corners as well, the interior corners, and all that love next, exterior, interior corners, and you have your pillars. So this is the 2-inch, this is the 1. Just give you a feel for those. So that's what you get with your 2s. So a lot of similarities. There's a couple of extra bonuses where you get the wall accessories, okay, 4 of each of those, and you still get your tiles. You'll be getting the easy clips in them, as well as the clips for Dragon Lock and Open Lock, so that you can have them work with other pieces you might already have in your collection, which, trust me, I completely understand, because Lord knows I have terrain. But again, nice carrying case as always, so that you could easily just close the lid, keep going, and keep moving with this. Now I thought it'd be fun to put a room together, because once we get this room together, you can see how this looks assembled in all of its goodness. And I also want to show you how I see the potential of both of these sets working together, just in terms of what I want to do with them, really. Like, this is just my own personal opinion when it comes to combining the two together. So what I thought would be fun to do is, I'm trying to think, I think I used Town and Village for the last. So what we're going to do, we're going to use Dungeon Tiles 2 for our first build, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to incorporate the first sets. So I'm going to, let me get my easy clips out. And again, the easy clips are coming out soon. They will be available soon in October. And if you've missed it, the easy clips are clips that are more flexible, and they help the builds go together more quickly. However, do keep in mind, if it's something where you're moving your pieces around a lot, they aren't as secured in as the original clips would be. So if you're looking for a more on-the-fly build style, or a quick build between, you're taking breaks and everything, you want to change the scene, these easy clips are going to be perfect for that. If it's something where you have a piece where you know your players are going to be constantly going back to, say, a certain tavern, say a certain cottage or something like that, that's where the first round of clips are good, because they'll help keep things nice and secure for you. So I'm going to be using the easy clips for this build because I want to. No, they're actually, I'm enjoying them greatly as I'm going around making different things. So I'm going to be using Dungeon Tiles 2 for the first floor. Give you a little hint there. And I'll show you the incorporation of the two sets together soon. So as always, I recommend, whenever it comes time to building a room, it helps to plot things out ahead of time. All right. That way you can see what you're working with, the space you need, and anything else you might desire. So I definitely want to have a double door entrance. I'm going to pull out some exterior walls. I may even have to tap into my expansion pack. I am going to want corners, 4 of these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tiles. Tiles help. I want to get the basic floor plan going. To speed things up, I am going to use the larger pieces, because I'm going to treat this as more of sort of an open room. Sort of like the main room. Like almost like a tavern, I'm thinking in my head. So I'm not worried too much about too many, hold on. So I'm thinking maybe there'll be a room to one side where I can put some walls up. And then we'll have another room. Then we'll do this. Yeah, okay, so this is starting to come together for me. Troll skull. You know, that would be a fun one to try and construct with these, especially with the town and village ones. I am all for that. What did I do? Okay, so this is perfect. All right, so I'm going to put this together now. You can see I have everything plotted out. I find when it comes time to putting these tiles together, it helps to sort of assemble in rows and then put the rows together. So I'm treating this as, here's a row, that's a row, these will be a row, this will be another row. All right, so first I want to put these together. And again, it's the same thing. You go into the center point here, and it just pops right in. And then just put them together like so. It's a great thing about the easy clips. And it's the same approach as the instructional video. It's just a little bit more subtle because you don't have to rock the clip in as much as you did with the first round. So keep that in mind. Going to do the same thing. Make sure I have this prepped and ready to go. Actually, no, take it back. It's easier for me to put them in this one, just so I make sure I have the spacing right. So now I'm going to attach this row to a 2x8 for this particular room. Let me see here. Gert, hello, how are you? Gert, I made the announcement in the beginning, and I'll talk about it right now because why not? We are starting to open up international shipping on shop.wizkids.com. Right now, we have opened up shipping to Great Britain, to France, to Germany, and to Canada. We are looking to open it up to other countries as we move along. So it's sort of a soft opening. So just be aware that that is the case. We do have some countries that are now able to purchase from us. And if you decide to, you can also go and use code GLOBAL10, and residents from these countries will get 10% off their first purchase on shop.wizkids.com. All right, so that is a thing that is happening. So right now I'm putting together my two 4x4s. I'm going to go back in and do this. This just gives you an idea of how I'm putting these together. There we go. And then line them up. Snap, snap, snap. Look how easy that is. And I'm going to put the other piece along this side. So I'm going to put my hooks, not hooks, my clips in here. And away we go. Like so. And I'll just make sure everything is lined up. It is important you have them lined up properly so they will lock together in place. Okay, so now I have my first floor. Just like that. Very straightforward, very simple. The basement, what am I missing here? Let's see here. Place. Okay, so keep having fun in your chat. That by all means, I love seeing the activity. So I'm gonna keep going with the built area. Now I'm gonna pop on my corner pieces. So, and I showed you this trick before. What I do with the corners, I'll actually put a couple of clips in just so it's a little bit more secured. That's personal preference. You don't have to if you don't want to. But you can see how nicely that just snaps into itself by doing that. And always be aware of where you're placing your clips too, because sometimes if you put a clip in the wrong spot, you then won't be able to fit a interior wall in, because you might have a clip that sits where this is going to go as opposed to where you would want it to sit so that this could anchor around it. So just be aware of that when you're plotting your rooms. You do need to be aware of where you're sticking your extra clips. Okay, so here we go. You can see this is starting to take shape. Ta-da. I'm going to put the door here. So let me get the door in to remind myself I want the door there. Come here. Come here. There we go. So we have a door in there, which means I'm now oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Where are the pennants? Okay, I'm gonna put pennants on these by the door so you can see. That'll be cool. Yay! Okay, so let me see here. I'm just backtracking in the chat. So straight up tiles. That is something I can mention. That came up in the chat for sure. Cannot guarantee it. Remember, anything that you bring up in the chat or say we should do or could you, would you, it's all something where we appreciate the ideas and everything like that, but that's not something I can guarantee or say is definitely going to happen. But it is good to have your input and your thoughts. I will say that. Let me get a second wall going here. This is fun. Oh, this looks so fun. Okay, hold on. Let me get the other corner on and I'll show you what it looks like when the door has the pennants on either side, because that's really neat. This is me geeking out over terrain. Shocker, I know. Vee likes terrain? Never. Never ever. Alright, pop this corner into place. Look at this. How fun is that? I love it. That's really cool. Okay, so let me keep going with this room build and getting more on there. We can also put a door in. Let's do a side door. Let's do a side door so they can get out to the side if they want to. And actually, yeah, that'll work because that's the side room. Perfect. So we will do that. And you can really see how these easy clips are living up to their name. It's just pop it in and go. And like I said, I like to put the two in the corners just so they're a little bit more. There we go. Clipped in. Oh, I have walls right here. Let's see. Do I want to put another door in anywhere? Yeah, we'll put one more door in too. Put one right here. Like that. And let's put in, where did I put them? I'm gonna put torches in, I think too. Get some torches out, that'll be fun. So I'm gonna put a torch on this wall and then I'll attach it. You can also put them in after you've popped them on. That's not something you have to do ahead of time. It's more, that's now a reminder for myself that I want to do that. Oh, Leonardo, if we open up to the Philippines. I mean, you know, keep your ears and eyes open. We are making the announcements on social media. So if you aren't following us on social media yet, what are you waiting for? I do have in the description below links to our social media. That is Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can check those out there and do that. All right, so we have a torch in there. So here, this is like my front area. We have a torch, so I'm gonna put a torch over here just for fun. So you can see this room layout. And I'm gonna pull out some dungeon dressings too. So you can see the room kind of come to form, come to shape. And I will talk, okay, so we have these as, yeah, I'm gonna put a torch over here. Hold on. There it is. Looking for its port. And I'll spin this around so you can see how this is all looking. I'm gonna leave it at that for the fun little bits. Okay, so here it is, just as if it were to be an open floor, okay? So you have your front door. You have a torch on that wall. Door and torch on that wall. Same thing on this one. Now I'm gonna get these rooms set up, and, you know, just some subtle rooms. So now I'm gonna flip over to the interior walls, and there goes one, setting up like that. And this is where I was saying it's important to make sure you know where your clips are so that you're not having to fight. Because if I were to try and put, say I wanted to put this door in here, that's not gonna happen. I'll show you, because I have a clip in the way. So just be aware of where your clips are when you're plotting and you're planning so that your interior walls can go up and work. Okay, so that's one room pulled together. Do I want to put another room in here? No, actually I kind of like this is just the... Okay, so this is our first floor. And question, let's see. So Matthew is asking, watching and wondering if we will see 1-inch wide walls so you can put doors and things off center on your builds. You know, there's, like I said, there's things happening in new features and new designs. I can't speak to everything, but it is an interesting idea for sure. Okay. Yes, the full walls, they do have the, like you can see right here, there are the holes for the torches. Okay, so they do have those. I'll just pull another one. They all have that right there. Bing! So you have that going for you. All right, let me grab dungeon dressings. I keep my other sets in Tupperware for my own personal storage, but you could keep your sets in the box and blisters in which they come. So I'm going to, let's get this set up that we have. Sort of a great table. This is dungeon dressings from the first round of WarLock Tiles that were released. There we go. Getting that set up there. We have crates, so I'm gonna put the crates in here. Like, say this was like the storage room. Why not? And we'll put a chest in there too. And they love that the chest opens and closes. See? And you can pop the treasure out too, which is another fun little detail. It's nice and secure when it's in there, but you can pop it out and place it back in if you want to. Just fun storytelling elements in my book. All right, so we'll put the chest in there. What else we put in here for fun? Oh, let's have it so there's sort of like little tables over here as well. And then pull out the keg, put the keg on its stand there. I love this guy. These are always fun. Painted many of these. Hello, Gallant Goblin. You and me both. I am very much excited about these. Okay. What else do we have in here that oh, the chairs. We'll put the chairs in. This kind of gives it the whole feeling of like, you know, your rogue is off sitting in the corner type of situation. And what else can we throw in here for good measure? Oh, we'll put in another chest. Why not? We'll put a chest over here. Well, not there because that's where the door is. Put a chest there. And maybe a couple barrels over here. All right, so this just gives you the idea of, again, and I put the little wine, you can change the lids, put the one with the wine there. So here's how you can kind of get a whole room set up and going. All right, and this is all with tiles, Dungeon Tiles 2. There's the wording I want. So this is all Dungeon Tiles 2, okay? Now here's where I see the potential with incorporating the two together. I am just gonna have to do one little thing, and that is tipping my torches down, because let's say you want to turn this into, where did I put it? You want to turn this into something where you want to have a second story. And I need to go to another one of my sets. Well, what do you say we have it where, instead of that, maybe instead of the keg there, we put a staircase there. Let me get another landing. Okay, so we have a staircase that's here, going up type of situation instead. Because what you can do, and what I have ready and what I have done is, come here you, I have taken the half walls like this, and I've put together an upstairs, which I'm now going to just place right on top, and now I have a house. Not just a room with a couple of things in the first floor, but I have a second floor that I can put right on top, and I'm gonna be very careful lifting this. This is the tricky thing. Let me switch to the main screen so you can see this. So this is where I'm thinking terrain build wise. I now have, and obviously if it's sitting on the table, it wouldn't be bowing as much. But now I have a second floor. I've been able to create sort of an overhang situation for the front door area. But you have your second level on the top, all set and ready to go. So again, it just sort of steers into creating this fun storytelling element. And you can definitely put these two sets together and put them to use that way. So that is where my mind's going with, okay, so yes, you already have your first sets. You have your Dungeon Tile 1, you have your Town and Village 1. So this is where I see the value in having both of the sets at hand, because you can do builds like this. This is something where I would set this up as sort of a local tavern or an inn, okay? You can see that, let me pull it back a little bit more. You could very easily set this up and then, you know, the players have a room upstairs type of situation. And if it's a matter of, let me go back to overhead. If it's a matter of, okay, well, I don't know if your players are like my players, but they like to split the party often. It helps because you have these two different floors. And what you can do, close please, close so I have slightly more table room. What you can then do, and this is what I find hugely helpful, you can have the two floors. Now I don't have enough screen space per se on my table, but you get the idea of where I'm going here. You can actually have it where first group is in the first floor, second group is up here. You can have them playing side by side, seeing all the action that's going on. Someone may choose to go upstairs and shift over, and you're able to see both levels at the same time, which I find hugely helpful when you're running a game, especially in buildings with multiple levels to them. You could even create a basement if you wanted to. All right, so you could put a basement down below and take one of the, where is it? One of the trapdoors. I don't have doors and archways with me, but you could take one of the trapdoors from doors and archways and you could pop it into this room, you know, maybe right over here. If I can like put a trapdoor right there and then they can go into the basement type of thing. But this is where I'm excited to play around with these sets. And you can, you know, again, stack it up. The rule of thumb would be is if you're going to do this layering thing, you want your Dungeon Tiles 2 and your Town and Village 2 as your first layer. So if you're making this a 3-story building, your first 2 stories would need to be from the 2 sets. Your last story could be the half walls on top. So that is something that I was really eager to try out and see. And when I put together, I did a little cottage first. When I put that together and I saw, oh, you can have this, you know, do the double layering and everything like that, that got me really excited. So I will just carefully pick this up again. See? Quite simple. Up and on it goes. And now I have my 2-story building. which is just, it's exciting. It's fun and it's wonderful and it's, you know, dynamic, and you really can set a scene. Seriously, which is just ever so much fun. And I'll hold it up here. You can see it in the smaller frame. But it gives you, and again, on the table, you're not going to have the bowing. This is just because I don't have a support underneath. And I did use the easy clips on the bottom. But yeah, so that was a fun little detail I wanted to mention about working the two of them together. When I realized you really could do nice, cohesive buildings, that to me is just, I'm excited for that. I'm eager to see what else I can create and do with these. So those are our WarLock Tiles 2 for dungeons as well as for town and village. You get both the core sets as well as the expansion. Remember, with the new packaging, let me switch over again. Here we go. So with the new packaging we have coming out, when you see packaging that is purple, that means it is a core set. It's going to have the tiles, it's going to have the walls, it's going to have the corners, the pillars, the clips, the accessories, and everything like that that go onto the walls. All right. When you move over to green, those are your expansion kits. All right. That means you get the walls, the doors, the corners, the accessory wall pieces for the full heights. And when you shift over to that smaller blue box, those are the accessories. So things like what I was just using before, this stuff. You have your, this is actually from the Castle Barracks. That's the 40 setting. But you have your things like dungeon dressings, stairs and ladders, doors and archways. Those will be in the blue boxes. So you're able to customize and pull together all the things you need to set your scenes. And also do keep in mind, our 4D setting sets work beautifully with these. So that's something else to keep in mind. Like I said, I pulled from Castle Barracks, the bunk beds, and they work beautifully with the tile system. So there's a lot of modular options. There's a lot of variety. There's a lot of scene setting you can do, taking WizKids miniatures and putting them into your WarLock Tile terrain setups too. You can truly get things going. And you have those wonderful little details like the fact that the windows, you can move them around and shift them. You could have the more ornate frame facing outward so it looks like a fancier building on the outside. You could flip that into the inside if you want to have a nicer looking inside. And again, it's just, there's a lot of cool stuff that are coming and is being created, and I cannot wait for you to see everything that everyone is working on here at WizKids. But yes, that is what we have going on. And for these, for the Dungeon Tiles 2, for the Town and Village 2, for the expansions for both of those, they are all coming out in November 2020, but they are available for pre-order now. So contact your FLGS, let them know you are very much interested in adding these sets to your collection. If FLGS is not an option, then by all means, please come and visit us over at shop.wizkids.com, and you can place your pre-orders there too. I'm shuffling through all my list. Again, we are international for Great Britain, France, Germany, and Canada. If you are residents of these countries and you would like to take advantage of the code we have going on right now, type in global10 and you will get 10% off your first purchase from shop.wizkids.com. And that, I believe, she says, she's just making sure, I believe that pretty much covers everything with all of this wonderfulness. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. I love sharing these tile sets with you. I love seeing your excitement and seeing all the questions that you have and everything you're thinking about as it's going along. If for some reason I have missed a comment or a question you might have, by all means, you could always hop over to our socials. Again, those are in the description below for Twitter, Instagram, as well as Facebook. We'll do what we can to help you out with that. And how many clips come in the box? That's a very good question. You have, I want to say it is 50. Let me just double check. So with the cores, you are getting, okay, so now with the WarLock clips for the core sets, I'm seeing 90 on the list here. And then for the expansions, that's where the 50 comes in. The expansions have 50. So 90 for the core and then 50 for the expansions for your clips. And it is still 8 for Dragon Lock and 8 for Open Lock. All right. So there is that question. You got in just under the wire. All right. And if you haven't yet, please, by all means, make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you know when more of these wonderful streams are going to be happening. I will see you on next Wednesday with some more cool things from our miniature lines. I cannot wait to share with you and some fun news as it comes up. Also, don't forget that every Tuesday now at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, join Jessa as she shows off some fantastic sets or some fantastic games from our board game line. Definitely make sure to go and take a peek over there because we have some really cool board games that are coming out that everyone's getting very excited for, especially the Super Skill Pinball. That's a fun one, especially if you're one who loved to play pinball like in the summer times at an arcade or whatever. Make sure you check out Much Ado About Gaming Tuesdays here on the YouTube channel at the same time, just, different day of the week, and it is with Jessa. I hope you can check that out too. So that's it for me. Thank you once again, everyone. And I'm going to wrap this up like I do every single time. Be good to yourselves and be good to each other. Until next time, bye, everyone.